All right, just a little quick update here. This is what I'm doing. I'm charging my bus right now. This is my DIY electric car. There's a plug in here, and I'm charging at 5 kilowatt, you know, because of this cable's kind of thin. So, yeah, we don't want to pull more than 40 amps through this cable. So, but here's also what I'm doing, right? This is my son's meter. And right now it's pulling, 5,800 watts. Most of it is that bus, right? So about 800 watts is the rest of the house. This right here is the AC, right? What the hell's going on here with all this? But right now, what I'm tasked to do, it's to actually test these units. These are three, what is it, 3.97, right? So almost 4 kilowatt hour, 48 volt. They're a little bit higher than 48 volt. These are rack ESS, they're units. There's just batteries, rack mountable. I have 3 of them. I've been charging them. I have a little charger for these, so it took me a little while. It took me like 2 days to charge them because I was charging at 5 amps each. I didn't have time to couple up something else. But now what I'm going to do is I'm going to discharge them so I can test capacity on these guys. There's 3 of them. There's a large number of these available that we're going to make available, but I wanted to have at least 3 of them so I can test the capacity on them, right? So I can have random capacity checks, and then we can say, well, it's from this capacity to that capacity. So that's what I'm going to be doing right now. I don't know. I mean, this is 2,000 watts that I'm going to be shoving right back into the grid. So this should take 2 hours, 2 hours, right? So in less than 10 hours, right? But I'm about to go to sleep, so it's going to take longer than that. Probably by the end of tomorrow, I'll be able to get this done. Let me just show you how this works. I have a plug here that I used to charge my bus back in the day. Now I'm going to use it to plug this 240 volt into this inverter, and then this is going to turn this 48 volts into 240 volts or 220 volts or whatever. All right, here we go. Now it's plugged in. 236 volts, right? This is what the grid is seeing. This is how much I'm pulling off the grid. Let's turn this guy on and then see if we are tracking this correctly. There we go. 64. Look at that. It's 900, 2,000 watts, right? And that is coming right off of the grid there. Instead of using 5,800 watts, now I'm using 3,800 watts off of the grid. So it's gonna save me some money. Although, it's off peak time right now, so my energy is as cheap as it can be right now. So, but I need to get going on these guys. All right, so that is our little meter here. That's counting up. It's gonna be 1 amp hour pretty soon right now. It doesn't matter. I'm discharging the battery, so it should be the other way around. I always forget. This should be facing, well, if it's on the negative, should be facing away from the battery. If it's on the positive, should be facing the battery, I believe. I believe that's how this works, so that this can be the right polarity. But all we have to make sure is that we need to keep track of that, the amp hours, right? And then this, actually, this is really what I want. We are rated at 3.971 kilowatt hours, so 3,971 watt hours, and we've pulled out 75 watt hours so far right now. So we shall see, and I'm gonna test all 3 of them, and then we'll let you know how good they do. All right, here we are. The inverter has shut off, and the reason is because it's hit the low voltage cutoff of 48. At 48 volts, each of the cells on this pack are around 3 volts, so they're pretty much done. What do we get here? We got 53 amp hours, or 3107. So 3100, 3.1 kilowatt on this first one. Okay, so that's one. Let's mark it, and then let's switch to the next one. All right, welcome to tonight's live stream. I do these live streams I try to do them every Monday night. I was missing last Monday because I wasn't feeling up for it. I've been kind of sick. Today, my allergies are super bad. My face is like trying to fall off. It's all tense. I don't think I'm gonna be able to do it as long as I usually hanging out here, because I don't think I'll be able to talk. I'm already kind of like sore from my mouth or whatever. But anyways, we're here. Let's talk about this. That's what I'm doing currently. I'm testing those ESS, which stands for, what does it stand again? Oh, Energy Storage System Modules. There's a ton of these that are coming into the market, and those of you guys that were lucky, a week ago, Tom made some available. They were actually bigger than this ones. They were like almost 10 kilowatt hours. So they're giant, almost 200 pound or 150 pound batteries, right? And there was only there was less than 100 of them, and we put them for sale, and you guys bought them all like almost instantly. I mean, then in a couple hours or something like that, they were gone. So a lot of you guys have been asking, when are those coming back? And they are going to come back. There will be more available. That was just the first initial batch. But we have the Samsung version now here. These are lots, they're about half the size. I think they were 4 kilowatt hours when they were new, and now they're like those that you saw there. That one gave me, they're yielding about 3.1 kilowatt hours. I have another 2. I have 3 of them, and I noticed that they increase on the first cycle, and the second cycle they increase like 3%. So I did it on one module. Right now I'm charging them back up again so that I can do a second cycle, maybe a third, I don't know, to see if it'll increase, because I don't know how long they've been sitting. There's there's a lot of unknowns about these, but there's a lot of them available, and we want to try to figure out where they're at. They're not brand new. They look brand new, but it seems like they were installed once and then they were used, and so they don't have a lot of markings. They're not beat up. They seem like they're brand new, but they're not yielding brand new capacity, right? So either they're really old, or I don't know. I think they're just used, I think, right? But we want to know. I want to be able to say, like, here we go, out of our testing, here's from this capacity to that capacity. That's what we saw. So you're somewhere in between there, so that you can have a better idea of what you're buying. And of course, these are going to be about half the price of what the other ones were, right? Actually less than half the price. So yeah, anything from like around $600 or whatever, so which is much more manageable for people. But it's only 3 kilowatt hours, right? So you have to take that into consideration. But these gonna be, about the easiest with DIY Powerball. There's hardly any DIY. I mean, there's still, you have to connect it and stuff. But I mean, they're ready to go. 48 volts. It could also be used 24, but they're weird because they're 16S. So there's 2 modules inside, 8 cells each. And there's lithium ion, or an NMC. I don't know what the exact chemistry of them are. I haven't been able to find as much info on these guys as we did on the LG one. But they're the 3.7 voltage chemistry. So you'll have 2 modules that are 8 cells, right? So you might be able to like do 24, right? But it's not ideal. It's not like our 7S thing that I'm building, or that we're coming up with and stuff. But yeah, you know, there's two modules. You just disconnect the thing inside, you put them in parallel, then you have 24 volts if you wanted to, or you can use them as 48. And in fact, these are commonly used with much higher voltage, somewhere around the 300 400 volts, as I'm told, right? And so yeah, they're made to run big stuff. And you know what, I was reading on the top there, I thought that was the capacity, but that's not the capacity, that was the actual output power. So they can do 3.7, you know, almost 4 kilowatt output. So they're 1C modules, right? They're not really like super powerful batteries, but you know, 4 kilowatt, right? You have a couple of them, then you can do, you know, 8 kilowatt. 3 of them, that would be like 9 kilowatt, and they would do, yeah, 12 kilowatt, something like that. I mean, that's pretty big, right? 4 of them should be able to power any house, right? With 2 of those 8 kilowatt inverters or whatever. So I wanted to test that, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to. These are going to become available tomorrow. So I'm making that video and I'm trying to get the testing done. And then tomorrow I want to build like a little thing to show you how easy it would be to build a thing, to, you know, to very easily just, you know, supplement your home usage. Or I wanted to have one where it was a standalone using my 8 kilowatt Radiant inverter, but I never really ordered that controller. I ordered it yesterday and it's not gonna get here till tomorrow, sometime tomorrow. So if I can get it in here before I upload the video, then that will happen. But if not, I guess in a future video I'm gonna show you how to run these kind of off-grid and just to charge a car, or, you know, run your home or whatever. I'll put a load. So that's coming up. That's tomorrow for all those guys who are asking. But enough about me. What are you guys doing? What's been going on with you guys? I'm gonna start reading 16S packs, says Team Hennessy. Yes, 16S. I purchased 20 of the medical packs, 27 cells, and what would be the best wiring configuration? Huh? The 27 cell packs? Oh, I see. I don't know. I have to think more about that one. Let's see. Tuesday morning. Carl Werther's, wherever he's at, you must be in Australia, because it's not Tuesday, it's Monday night here, or Monday afternoon. I'm a little bit earlier than usual. Every day I'm like, every week I'm going a little bit earlier. One of these days I'm going to do like a noon thing or whatever, just to try and get some of the people that are usually can't make these, you know, nightly streams that I do here. I like the new stream time. I actually, see, there we go. Anthony Electric says that he can participate at this time where a lot of people can't, right? New Zealand, it's the afternoon, New Zealand. By the way, this is Rocket. He wants to say hello. Oh, and Wayne wants to hump him. Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Let's give him some space. There you go. You guys can hump each other over there. No more great hair. No, that's not. That was my phone. By the way, this phone, as terrible as it makes me look when I stand in that window there, it's a pretty amazing camera. I've been, yeah, this is by far the best iPhone, right? And it's mostly because it's got 3 cameras, not just 2, 3 cameras. But this is genius what they've done, where they, you know, they like these guys, right? These are really good, but they're kind of one-trick pony. They're really good at super wide-angle shots, but, you know, anything like long or, you know, yeah, these don't do it. And they're dumb. Why don't they just do like what Apple's doing and put 3 little cameras on these guys? They would be killing it, right? But of course, Apple's showing them. I mean, not Apple. There's been other phones that have done it. But anyways, I'm testing that. And all the stuff that you saw earlier in the intro of this video was shot with that, and at midnight, you know, low light setting in my garage. It's pretty cool. I like it. Except the white hair is trying to make me old. I don't know why. Why the hell that's happening, man? Jehu, tried, eat, very local honey. Oh yes, I guess I gotta try that because my allergies are just freaking kill. And it's only like, I don't know, I only get them for like 2 weeks out of the year or something, but it's bad. And then after that, it's like fine or whatever. But yeah, I need to try that. I've heard that a lot. I've never really done it. I need to do it because I need to, yeah, not get this stuff because it just makes me miserable for a couple of weeks out of the year. Hello for the Maldives. Maldives. I don't know where the Maldives are, but I heard they're beautiful, or it's an awesome place to go. Maybe one day I will go there. My camper is running the SPIM 08HP, says Agile. That's pretty good. Send us pictures. Upload them to our Facebook group, so that we can see your project there. There we go. A lot of people are telling me about the bees, honey. You might, says that I might have zombie-itis. Don't bite anyone. There we go. Oh yeah, no, and then this thing doesn't help. I have these braces now. I got this sharp metal in my teeth that are just pulling on. Like, yeah, it doesn't help. Then in fact, that's the reason why I'm wearing these for the second time in my life, because the first time I stopped wearing them because my allergies were bad, and I felt so uncomfortable I would just take them off, and then I stopped putting them on. But now I can't take them off; they're kind of stuck in there. They're glued on there. So I'm hoping that it's gonna work better this year. Let's see. Easy, get the negative from the BMS and get, okay, these guys talking about that's right around market price right now, says Team Hennessy. You want to sell me these units? Yes, we will sell you some units tomorrow. Tomorrow, I don't know. I'm hoping tomorrow midday. I should be working on that video so I can upload it tomorrow morning. But you know, I'm still charging them because I do want to try and put a second cycle on them. And they're so big, you know. Like, I'm moving around 10. I'm almost 10. You know, 9 kilowatt hours. It's not the easiest, especially when you got this little, you know, thing. In fact, I fried one of my chargers, my power supplies. I was trying to increase the, hey, what are you guys doing? So, you know, these guys that I'm using, these little guys here, I use this to charge them, right? And these are rated at 40 amps. So the amperage is what really limits you, right? So they can go all the way to 60 volts in input and up to 90 volts on the output, right? So those things are around 65, right? That's 65, that's where it ends. So I was trying to get the input higher so that 40 amps at 60 volts, then you get somewhere around 1,500 watts, right? And so it would speed up my charging process on that. And so what I was trying to do, doing the thing where I put in series the you know, the power supplies, but I fried one of those. Apparently those, even though they're isolated, they don't like the higher voltage. I think either the MOSFETs can handle the extra voltage, because I put it on there and it started smoking, and then I disconnected quickly, and then I took it apart and I could see what was burning, but then I put it back together, and then that's it. It would never go above like 10 volts, right? So something fried on it, and I'm like, all right, there's another one down. So what I just need to do is get the 40 volts, right? So if you're gonna use these to charge your battery, right? So you gotta go as high as voltage as you can. Right below the minimum voltage of the battery, right? So in this case, what is it? 48 volts. It's like the minimum, right? That's where they start. I think it's 48. So you would get a 48 volt power supply. Set it to like 44, 45, 46. 47, I don't know, somewhere around there. It's just so that you would give this guy a chance to boost a little bit when you're starting the charge, right? And then from there, it goes all the way to 67. But at that point, then you will be able to use the maximum, you know, power output out of this guy. And if you're not using the maximum, then you should be running the least amount of amps here so this will run cool. These things burn up really quickly. Like they're pretty, you know, finicky, but you know, it's because they get hot. They get so hot. So I've also been thinking about figuring out how to take this fan out of here and then put it in a tube And so I can put like either this one or a bigger fan or 2 fans, so you can really move air through there. Because this little thing here, yeah, it cools down this thing and the MOSFETs, but the you know, the inductor over here starts cooking. So we also need, you know, airflow through this guy, and the fuses get hot too. So, you know, I gotta mess around more with that and come up with some like 3D printed like case or something. If anybody out there is good at, you know, designing 3D printed cases, take a look at that. You would help a bunch of us, because I think a lot of you guys are using that, and I hear from a couple of you guys that like that you guys burn those up just like me. I have a collection of burned up ones here because I'm trying to always push them to, you know, to the limits, because that's what we're supposed to do. Let's see here. Hello from Central Rhode Island, the biggest little state in the U.S. My 11-year-old son, Dylan, wants to take his room off grid thanks to you. I said, let's do this. Thank you. David, let's do it. Do it. Just, you know, don't ask permission. Just do it. It's easy. When it's a little room, it's easy. And that's how everyone should start, with little projects and then grow. Then get bigger and bigger. And once you understand all the concepts, then it should be easy to upscale, you know, the whole thing. Why do I always miss these when they're for sale? Well, that's because they go quick. Island Times, welcome to the live chat here. Just working on gathering the old 18650 packs for my RV. We are in Sydney, Australia. Thank you for all your most excellent education. Thank you for that. Another dog fight. No, it's the same one. It's just carrying on from the last time. Okay. Here we go. It changed. The portable battery you modded with different 18650s, whatever happened to the 99% issue not reaching 100%? Rafael, I don't know which one you're talking about. You gotta refresh my memory with more details there, because I don't remember what I was missing, the 1%. Greetings from Portland, Oregon. I've been in Portland. That's a pretty cool city. Thanks for all your amazing content. You've been inspiration on my quest for energy independence. Thanks for your help. Thank you for that, Oasis Heating and Air. Android phone cameras kick ass. Of course someone would say that. Also, could you do the same while adding additional capacity with the same setup? I think so. It depends which ones you're asking. Like my system, yeah. On these, also yes. You could just add more if you're gonna run in parallel. So yeah. Scooterman8846 says, Jay, how are you? Almost done with my 8,000 watt home backup system for 12 volt DC inverters to run entire home. Wow, 12 volts? Really? Huh, I gotta see that. You gotta share that with us in our Facebook group so we can see it. Try the new GoPro 8 Black. It's amazing, says Victor Turbo. Yeah. In fact, I gotta put it right up against my favorite, which is no longer a GoPro anymore. It's that other one. It's the DJI one, the Osmo Pocket, the Osmo Action, or whatever it's called. That one's really good. I've been using that one whenever I go. Right, but now it's between that and my phone. In fact, I haven't used my camera that much, but I'm not making that type of video where I need to get the most, you know, the best quality or whatever. I kind of miss that. I'm in this transitional period right now where I'm doing stuff and it's, you know, yeah, I'm gonna get back into the video soon and creating cool stuff, right? Where I'm telling stories, but they're about this, about energy. I'm working on a little mini doc, the one from over there from San Francisco that I went and shot and stuff. So yeah, that's in the works. I'm coming around. I can't do everything at the same time. So what 24 volt inverter do you all recommend? Well, I just did a review on that GMDL. Oh yeah, it's right there. By the way, I have to pick a winner
from the people that commented on the first 5 hours. The reason why I'm doing the first 5 hours, just in case you were wondering, is because the reviews usually don't get a lot of views. And so usually what people try to do is they try to get people to sign up for the notification so that you can like comment within the first few hours of the video so that it gets some traction, right? It didn't really quite work that good this time around, but I need to figure it out, because if I don't get a lot of views on these reviews, then people are not gonna want to pay me. Already people don't really want to pay me for reviews, right? Which is weird, because I'm like, hey, whenever I do a review, then people, if it's a favorable review, people like it, right? And so people usually are like, no, can we send you one? And I'm like, send me one so I can give it away. Give us a discount code, and then give them some affiliates or something. And then people are like, you're asking too much, and I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm going to sell a bunch of them if your stuff is good. So anyways, it's a hard thing to get. So in order for me to be able to review the good stuff, then I need to get the views up on the reviews. And that's why I won't take any review unless they let me like give it away, basically, right? So from here on, anything that I review, no matter how expensive, how big or whatever, I'm gonna give it away at the end of that review. And in fact, I've been trying to clean up here, and I have so much stuff that I need to get rid of. And I figure that I'm just gonna get into this groove of just doing giveaways, right? Because there's a lot of stuff. Like take for example this thing. Right? Oh, look at this stack right here. This is a stack of like, I don't know how many of these boards. They're perfectly good. The only problem with these is that they're not the latest iteration of the PCB, but they're already done. They're assembled, they're tested, they're ready to go. It's just, it's like, well, I can't use these ones because they're not the latest iteration. So I can't show them on video, because then when you guys see them, you're like, hey, those connectors are different. This doesn't work with that BMS module that I did. But anyways, I have two of these stacks right here. They've been doing nothing. They're just clogging up my room here. I'm just gonna give these away. In fact, I'm gonna give these away right now. Whoever. Well, okay. So when this video drops at the end of this live stream, just go and comment and like this video, this live stream, and then I'm gonna pick a winner, and then you're gonna get one of these. I have a couple of these. I'll give a couple away. And then like that, I have a bunch of stuff. Let me put it away. I'm gonna make room. I need to get rid of some batteries because I got too much batteries over here. People are offering me batteries. I'm like, I don't have room. Get them out of here. That's a weird problem to have. I don't have room for batteries. Let's see. Jay, can you post a link to the specs on these 48 volt packs? I will tomorrow. I will do it on the actual video. Right now, like I said, I don't have a lot of info. I couldn't really find, using the serial number, I couldn't really find anything on them, right? So, I can get all the basic stuff. I can get you dimensions, I can get you weight, I can get you capacity, testing capacity, and then the label capacity, output power, rating, and I can take all the pictures to show you what the modules look like and how they work, and then like a quick diagram of how you can use them, right? How you can mount them. In fact, I have a rack that I used to use back in the day. In the old days, I used to be a musician. I used to play guitar and play drums, but I was also the sound guy. I own all the stuff. I still have the speakers, right? I have like 5,000 watts of speakers here in my room that I never, I paid a lot of money for those, so I'm not gonna get rid of them, right? so they're in here in this room. But I used to have a rack that was made for the amps. If you guys know the amps, for audio amps, they're 19-inch rack mountable. So the rack system is something familiar to me. So when you get these batteries, you're like, oh my God, these are fit on my rack. So all this time, I never got rid of my rack. It's over there in the backyard. I went and dusted it off. I'm gonna put these batteries in there, and I'm gonna show you how to, like, you know, do a quick little battery box that you can carry. 10 kilowatts on wheels, basically. And you can use it to charge car. That was what I was envisioning. Pulling up, and charging, Crystal's Tesla or something. At 8 kilowatt. With my big inverter in there that I have. So I'm going to be able to give you all of those details tomorrow in the video. That's what that video is going to be about. Right now, I don't have them on the top of my head. But yeah, you just have to wait for another 12, to 15 hours or something like that. Yes, the new GoPro 8 has the new features. Yeah, but none of that stuff's available yet. I was really disappointed because I was like, oh, I'm getting that thing. Oh, it's not available. Thoughts on supercaps and parallel with lithium batteries? Yeah, we don't need them. I mean, someone needs them, but we don't need them. Not for storage, so I'm not really excited about it. Yeah, those are the most overrated things in this space. Supercaps. I'm like, yeah, they're terrible batteries. They're big, they're heavy. I mean, they're not heavy. They're big and bulky and expensive, right? And, we don't need what they do. Battery Mooch is in the house. Good evening, Battery Mooch. How's it going? Nice to see you here. How do you build a 400-volt battery? You just put 96 cells in series. Well, 90, 94, 95, 96. 96 is the standard when it comes to automotive batteries. Teslas have 96. Pretty much every car. Other than the Fiat. Fiat had 97 cells? Something like that. There was a weird one. It was like... But most of the other cars are 96, right? That seems to be the emerging, or now pretty much established, standard for 300. It's 350 nominal, 400 volts, fully charged. And then now they're coming up with like 800 volts or yeah, that's like that. Those are still, that's still far in the future. I think we're gonna be seeing the 400 volt, 350 volt standard for a little while. That's okay. So let me see. Thanks, Seeps, on the knowledge you share, living on the dream, people like myself. Okay. Comment, I'll pay shipping on the 8650 boards. Free batteries. Yeah, I have some. I found some at the garage. I don't know if you saw on my Instagram. I posted a picture. I crammed another bus in my garage because I couldn't leave it out there, right? Because they'll steal it. But anyways, I'll make a video about this, but basically, I want to finish my bus. I've heard you loud and clear. You guys want me to paint the bus. And I'm going to explain to you why it's such a big deal to paint this bus. Why is a lot of money, and they're quoting me something like about a year, right? And so I'm like, a year? I mean, I'm like, I guess I don't mind that much paying the money, but like a year? You want a year? And all the legit shops want a year. Like no one, they're like, I like that. That seems ridiculous to do. I'm like, it's like a month worth of work. Like, you can't schedule me. Like, you want the car for a full year. You don't want like, oh, we'll bring it in 6 months and then, in 7 months we'll return it to you. Once we're ready to work on it, we'll work on it, nonstop. No, they want to have it for a year. The process takes a year. And I'm like, I'm going to have to buy another bus, another vehicle for in the meantime. So I bought one. It's in the garage. So while I was trying to stuff it in my garage, I was finding all kinds of stuff that I'm like, these batteries, I bought these to test them. They, for some other reason, they didn't work. There was the wrong voltage, the wrong size. And I'm like, I just put them in the shelf. So there's a bunch of stuff. So I'm like, I got to give these away. So I will have some giveaways coming up. Let's see, we only get average 217 days of sun here in Arkansas. Compares the same to Florida. Maybe a good storage system going about that will be reliable. I'm intimidated when it comes to storage. Yeah, I mean, it's a weird thing, but it's so weird because I was looking at that yesterday. Batteries can be intimidating. Big batteries can be intimidating. But as I was, recording that video last night, I was looking at this stack of batteries, and it's like, that's like 9 kilowatts, 9 to 10 kilowatt hours, right? And then I'm like standing in between that and my bus, and I'm looking at my bus. That's 5 times more battery. This has like 48, 50 kilowatt hours. And I want to put 100 kilowatt hours in my bus. Like, that's what I'm working on doing right now. I'm like, this is child's play. This is like a tiny battery. It's big and bulky, but it's laughable when it comes to, energy density and power density. Oh, it can put out 1C and it can give like 8 kilowatts or, I don't know, 9 kilowatts power, right? I'm like, my bus sucks 88 kilowatt on peak, right? And then the new Tesla ones, they'll do like 200, 300 kilowatts, power demand. I'm like, so when it's just, relative, right? Like if you work on a DIY electric car, you realize like that's a serious use of battery right there. Like that's, you got to have a 50 kilowatt hour pack that can put out at least 2C, right? At 100 kilowatt, so that you can have some decent power. My car's not really a race car. 80 kilowatt hours, 88 kilowatts power. That's only like 100 horsepower. You're not winning races. It's not really considered a sports car, especially when it's 3,000 pounds. Maybe if it was like 1,500 pounds. So yeah, it's all relative. Once you work with the big battery and once you get used to it, it's just like, it's no big deal. You realize that it's no big deal. That would be neat. The Omni charge with an expansion port. That would be a great video. What's the Omni charge? Oh, there we go. Okay, I'm gonna fast forward a little bit here. Maybe you could win the 5 away. I remember you want every ripple knocked out of the bus. Well, no. I'm gonna show you how my bus looks great from afar, like from 10 feet away. But once you start looking at it, you're like, holy crap, why is the roof old? So you gotta remember, my bus was like a farm vehicle for, I don't know how long, 20 years or something. It got beat up. It's really beat up. And then after that, someone grabbed it and they were trying to just flip it. So they did a lot of shoddy work. They just like put Bondo and they bang stuff and they, welded new material, like new metal where it was rusted and stuff, but they didn't really, did it correctly, And so I used my phone today to record just like up close, like the jams, the doors, see how like crazy crooked they are. The roof line, the roof line was, I don't know if it was already like crazy, like wobbly like that, or I did it when I probably a combination of both, right? When I welded the roof on, I didn't, I did my best, but I didn't do a perfect job, I guess. I guess I kind of put a lot of stress on those openings for the doors, so they go up like this, and so then the doors are like sagging, and so it's a big gap over the doors, and they're like kind of crooked. You wouldn't want to paint it if you were me, right? Like the doors don't close right. When you look them to the side, they're kind of like half open. So there's a lot of little details, and you got to get them right if you can spend some money painting it, right? I wouldn't want to just half do it, right? You're gonna do it right. I found a 3D printed case for the 1800 watt boost converter, but I can't send the link on the live chat. Oh, put it on our thing or email it to me, so I can put it on our Facebook Jehu's DIY Powerwalls group. Yeah, that's pretty cool, because obviously I'm not the only one thinking about this, right? Because I was thinking today, I'm like, that would really help out if you were able to like force air through here, right, without escaping to the sides. And yeah, these will run. This will run for a while if you can just cool it. I think that's what kills these guys. Paint it yourself. I painted 2 of my split window. Okay, so actually, I've been thinking about that, Highland Times. I thought a year, you gotta give me a break. I'm like, I could buy another bus, prep it, you know, learn to do body work, and to mess around with paint and spray it and make all the mistakes and learn on that one. And then I can then tackle my bus and then do it better, you know, maybe make a bunch of mistakes, redo it again. I could do that in less than a year. I mean, how long does it take? I can become an expert painter in the next year, you know, and paint my bus a couple times. So I might do that, because why not? I mean, what do I got to lose, right? Other than a bunch of money. If I document the whole thing, someone's going to enjoy it. I can just put it up on YouTube. And, you know, I used to have a lot of that crowd following me already, because for a little while my videos were all about the samba, right, and all the metalwork and stuff. And, you know, I can go back to that, right? I can, you know, I think I can do it like in a month. And then I was rolling around. There's a bunch of like collision repair shops around my neighborhood, around, you know, just not too far from here, miles away from here, right? And they all have paint booths, right? So I'm like, I could just prep it, take it to one of these guys, and then go like, here's a paint, you know, prep it for me and spray it, you know what I mean? Because that's a hard thing to do, you know, especially here in California. I got all the regulations. You can't just go outside and just spray. You'll get the cops, you get the city on you, and they'll fine you, you know, till there's no tomorrow or whatever. So that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking I might just DIY this thing till the very end. I want to get it done in 4 months. I mean, I have 4 months. If I want it done, you know, at the beginning of the year, there's no way that I can send it to a shop. I would have, the only way would be to do it myself. Now, can I figure it out? Can I do a good job? I don't know. There's only one way to find out, right? I didn't know anything about batteries before I did it, so. Jehu, my LG Chem for B battery hookup came in Friday and tested 10.3 kilowatt hours, FYI, 103% capacity. Will there be more? The Samsung ones are too degraded for me. Isn't that end of life? Yeah, I think so, right? So, yeah, there will be, as far as I know from Tom, the LG modules are going to be available. There's more of them. And not only that, there's going to be other versions of them too. So there's plenty of these batteries coming in the future. There's the BYD ones that are coming from a couple of sources that I am talking to. So it seems like they're all kind of dumping their ESS modules on the market all at the same time for some reason, right? So I don't know. It's a good thing, right? To have choices. You either do the Samsungs, you do the LGs, the BYDs, whatever kind of works for you. Yeah, either way, they're coming. It's just you got to be ready when they show up, I guess. In your last solar generator, do you use 6P 7S so I can contact PPAC safely? I did 9. I did 9P. Yeah, 9 boards plus the BMS. So it's 10 boards fit on that little case, I think. Please post it in the Facebook group. I'm waiting test prints for my printer. Facebook locked me out for posting links. Called it spamming. 30 days. What? PulseJet, what kind of links are you posting, PulseJet? Jim Anderson says Exhibit would love to show you some Bondo tricks. I need all the Bondo tricks I can learn. Yeah, I mean, I can grasp the basics, and I've been watching a lot of videos on how to block sand, you know, what to use. I'm gonna send, so by the way, I'm gonna send this as soon as I can register the other vehicle. I still don't know. I think I'm gonna send this new vehicle straight to have it bead blasted or media blasted, so it's down to metal, and then I'm just gonna epoxy it, right? So epoxy primer so that you protect the metal or whatever, and then I'm just gonna take all my parts from my bus and transfer them over, put them on this new bus, and I'm gonna write that thing. I'm not gonna do much to it. I don't think I'm gonna like weld, repair the rust, none of that stuff. I'm just gonna paint it. Because it looks really bad right now with all kinds of like multicolor. It looks like trashy, right? And then I'm gonna get working on the bus, actually redoing all the parts, all the metal. Also send it to be media blasted, so it's down to bare metal. And then after that, cut in everything that I have to cut in, and then it's gonna really become apparent what panels need to be replaced. And then after that, just block something, right? Like getting the metal as close as straight as I can, and then the doors, the lining, and all that stuff, and then block sanding, and then paint. I mean, yeah, I don't know, I never done any of that. I don't know what I'm doing. So I do plastic dip it. 22 looks in from 20 feet at 20 miles an hour. Your mind looks great at 2020. Just use the vinyl skins, you can change it easy. Hello from Puerto Rico. How's it going? Patagonia, Argentina. Look at that. International audience tonight. By the way, this thing tonight looks way different on my end. YouTube totally changed everything on this guy. Does it say how many people? Oh, concurrent viewers, 223. Wow, there's 223 of you guys. Man, I'm getting nervous here now. You gotta pay attention to what I'm saying. I'm just okay, I would be so grateful to win one stack of the battery holders, PCB boards. Yeah, so just make sure you comment once the video posts so I can get a little bit of views on these guys, and then links on things I use on eBay. Oh really? Yeah. Okay, so the links. I wonder if they're reporting you, maybe. So if you're posting on groups, I think maybe people don't want you to do that, because then they might think like, oh, you're trying to make money off of us, because you can post a link that has like an affiliate on it, or not. You might not. You might just be someone that's sharing. But I could see where people would have some. I used to have an issue with people posting like that in my group. I stopped caring, because now I made my deals with my partners, the battery guys and the stuff, and and I'm like, I don't care. As long as I'm making money, I don't care what people do. As long as you're not spamming, or as long as you're not spamming stuff that it's unrelated. That's the only stuff that I go and delete from the group. But if you're like, there's a ton of people that are selling batteries and they're not giving me a cut or anything, right? And I don't care. Like, who cares? There's plenty of batteries to go around. There's plenty of I don't care. But some other people might care, and maybe that's why they totally would ban you. Bullshit. All professional painters hate customers that do the prep. I'm sure they do. That's why I'm gonna do the entire thing. I might just have to do the prep, and I might have to do. But the thing is, I wouldn't be compelled to do my own prep if if those shops didn't want 12 months to get it done, right? It's like how. Yeah, I guess that's how successful these guys are. That they're like, take it or leave it. It's a year. I'm backed up a year. Take it or leave it, right? And so. It's good for them, I guess, right? That means they're that busy, or they just work at their own pace. They make enough money that they can be like, whatever. Either way, it doesn't work for me, right? Because I don't think I want to be. Like I say, I paid the money. I just don't want to wait a year to have my car. You know what I mean? Like, it's weird. Like, that's 1/7 of the time that I've owned my car. You want it just to paint it, like. Seems a little bit. I know it's a lot of work, right? I don't know if it's 12 months worth of work. It's a lot of work. You're doing something wrong because if it's taking you 12 months, yeah, that's a little bit ridiculous. You need the professionals more than the final coat. Well, yeah, but that's what I mean. I can make all the mistake. I can paint it twice. I can do the thing, think that I got it right, spray it, and be like, oh my god, this is terrible. I missed all this stuff. Okay, let's redo it again. I can probably do that twice or 3 times in less than a year. You know, I can become an expert in that time. Let's see. Does putting aluminum foil around the solar panel reflect more light work? Huh. Maybe. I mean, it could work. You gotta try it, right? So let's say there's a lot of angle, and then the sun bounces off the foil, and then it bounces into the panel. Maybe more light will hit it than without it. Huh, I don't know. You should try it. Just try it and see if it works. Jay, dude, you're the cancer of the DIY power community. Why am I the cancer? I always wanted to DIY my power wall, but in my area, Tanzania, East Africa, Tanzania, we have limited resources and access to materials like BMS and other boards. Yeah, I totally get that. I mean, not too long ago, the U.S. was kind of like that, right? It's a resurgence right now of parts and batteries that we have here. Yeah, they're becoming a thing. It's like a kind of like a revolution. It's crazy how it's becoming. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's the craziness. I'm too deep in this thing. But for me, it almost feels like it's becoming, you know, like the norm, right? Like it's mainstream now, talking about batteries and stuff. Every big YouTuber that I used to watch that used to talk about science and other stuff, you know, even like Casey and stuff, which is like lifestyle, you know, YouTuber. Now it's like he's posting stuff about Teslas and the thing, and I'm like, how does that shift? How does the world shift to what I'm doing or I'm interested? Or I was either ahead of the curve and everybody's finally catching up, or I don't know. But it almost feels that way. Or maybe I'm just crazy and it's just those people that I'm watching is because we have similar interests, and you know, the world doesn't care about batteries. It's just us crazies, you know, us couple hundred people that are doing the thing. I don't know. What does it seem like to you guys? A lot of the time, it seems like I can't step too far back from where I'm at to see the bigger picture, you know. Adding reflectors to panels does work, but it also heats them up. Bad juju. There you go. Can't get something out of nothing. Unless you put some fans. You know. Take it to Tijuana, Mexico for the paint job. Yeah, except the Tijuana people already know that these are worth a lot of money. They disappear it. You know, and if I'm not over there to, you know, to babysit it, it'll disappear. You know. Sorry to be so, you know, thinking bad about my people over there, but, you know. Yeah, it can happen. Come to Colombia. Colombia sounds like a cool place to visit. Hello, Ola from Jersey Shore. Just sharing good deals, not just on the group. Really? You should start a Discord server and start the community. I had one. It might still be up. It's just, you know, I have too many channels. I have too many places that I need to keep up, and yeah, I just was never there. Nobody owes you anything. Dank, that's a good idea. Royco, actually, if they want to use his follower base, then they should give him royalties. he's done the hard work. Yeah, I mean, when I wasn't making money, when I was just struggling, and I used to feel like I had an issue, right? Because I'm like, but now, it's like, now that I set up deals and stuff, yeah, I'm like, who cares? Who cares? Post your stuff in there. I don't care, You're making money. I don't care. What do I care if you're making money, right? Who cares? As long as you're not too annoying about it, I don't care. Rent one of the expandable booths. Oh, I saw that one. Someone posted that they rented or they bought an inflatable booth. It's like a blow-up booth, paint booth. How does that work? 1 year is crazy. Surely there are other shops that can do it faster. The shop that is that busy needs to hire more people. Yeah, you would think so, right? It's just, the thing is, yeah, no, definitely. It's just, I think I'm going to the wrong shops. I'm going to the shops that are known for doing buses. And so everybody takes them there to do the buses. I'm like, it's just body work. Like, any shop should be able to handle this if they know body work, if they know, right? Like, I mean, if they know how to restore classic cars. Although, I'll give you guys an example of how infuriating sometimes things are, right? My buses had a problem for a while, right? Like, I installed a modern set, Willwood calipers and disc brakes, rotors, right? In the front. These are like stuff that every modern car has, right? This is like, third-party stuff, right? Willwood. But they're very popular. And they're sticking. So when I start going, after a little while, when I step on the brake a couple times, by the way, it brakes perfect. It's like nice and soft, and it brakes now. Before the original brakes don't work. Now, but the problem is that they brake too much. After they stay stuck, and as I'm rolling away, I can hear them like squeaking and stuff, And then I come out and I put my thermal camera in there, and they're hot, which means that they're getting stuck and they're braking as they're going down the road. My bus feels sluggish because it's doing that, right? And I'm like, well, there's something wrong. I gotta take out the master cylinder, put a dual circuit one, which is like a more modern one. You have two circuits now. You can separate them. You can put a different residual valves, proportional valves. I don't know. They call them something like that, right? Like, so you do all that stuff. I get stuck not being able to bleed the dual circuit master cylinder, right? I don't know what I'm doing. I couldn't figure it out. So I took it to shop. They did it. And I figure, okay, when they install this new thing, obviously they're going to what is that thing? They bleed my brakes, right? And they're going to probably fix that problem, because the problem with it is that it probably has air trapped in the lines, which expands, and when it gets hot, and that's the reason why it's, sticking or whatever. But it doesn't. It didn't fix it, right? They changed it, and I get it back, and so I take it to some specialists. That's a long way to set up the story. But anyways, I take it to this place that's called Brake Specialists, and they're like, yeah, we do brakes, we do everything here. And then they go, like, which car you have? And I go, that one right there. It's like an old car over there. Oh, no, we don't do that. I mean, no, we don't know anything about those brakes. So they're brake specialists, but they don't touch anything that's old. And I'm like, what? Like, how does that make sense? Don't you guys know it's the same brakes? I mean, it's like modern brakes essentially now. It's, yeah, but we don't have the book here that has the instructions and the thing. And I'm like, okay, so you guys don't really know what you're doing. So I walk away. But it's almost like that with shops too, It's like, that's why you got to go to the guy that does the buses. The downside is you got to wait 12 months, right? But you shouldn't. I think you should be able to take it to any body shop, and they should be able to look at it. And these are metal panels. Here are the gaps, We should be able to. You would think so, but I don't know if that's the case, right? And I guess I'm going to find out if that is the thing. I also like those 2 books on your shelf by Micah Toll. Thanks for the good channel. There we go. Steven. Yeah, those are really good books. People are reading that. By the way, speaking about those books, I just talked to BW Life. We drive split buses. Yes. Speaking about those books, I just talked to Eric Lundgren. He's that guy that I used to hang out with a lot about a year ago. And he was involved in some lawsuit or some criminal case against him by Microsoft. And he went to prison for a while, right? He was sentenced to 15 months. And so now that when he came out, he told me that he read that book, that he bought it, and he read it. And he's like, yeah, man, now I know more about batteries. So it was very interesting. Which by the way, today, what is it? Vice, they just dropped a documentary on him and his whole case and the whole thing. And it was 43rd on trending when I checked it this morning. So it was trending on YouTube, which is pretty cool, right? So you guys should go see it. Just type in, what is it? Vice, right? And it was pretty good. I watched it. They did a pretty cool thing. It was a pretty complex story to tell. They did a good job. It made me kind of want to get back into doing these little documentaries and stuff. Yeah, you should go check it out. Don't paint your bus, says BW Life. You'll worry about scratching it, and you'll be afraid to enjoy it. BW Life. Yeah, no, I will drive it again, and I will scratch it, but it'll be nice and painted. I want to take it to a few shows. I want to show it at SEMA. The thing is, I wanted this bus to be able to, like, spread the word that, spread the word. I sound like some preacher or whatever. That electric cars, the classic electric cars work. The DIY classic cars are a thing, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if that people know that is a thing. They should know, right? But I don't know if they do know. And I feel like I missed quite a bit of opportunity had I had my bus done, right? Throughout this years. I see everyone else's cars being featured and all this other stuff. Not that my bus needs it, right? It's probably got more views than any of all those other cars and stuff. But yeah, I wanna paint it. I want to paint it, and maybe I'll regret it or something, but if I do, then I have the other one that I can drive around, without painting, ratty. I can always get another ratty bus. There's no big deal. What kind of master cylinder are you using? I'm using a bay window master cylinder because I took two of them to the shop. I go, here's a 67, which is a dual circuit, and then here's a bay window, and they just like picked the bay window and they installed it, and it works great. It's awesome, but it's just getting stuck. And I'm gonna take it tomorrow to some guy that works on BWs, and maybe he's gonna be able to figure it out for me. You can place, okay, ooh, let's see here. Let's see. Take Samba to some 2-horse town. They would be happy for the work and get it done. Yeah, I should be able to, right? A paint roller would work. Don't have to worry about the EPA. Yeah, house paint. They used to paint them like that back in the days. No, so it's not Vice trending equals 20,000 views. No, I mean it was YouTube trending. And it was like I was like over 200,000 views this morning. That's what it was. I mean, it wasn't like just among their channel. It was in the entirety of YouTube. Which there's a lot of cat videos that are getting a lot of views. If you can pass them, then you got something. How do you like your Model 3? Sort of this was answered before. Model 3 is a car that I really wasn't that excited about for some reason. I don't know why. But it just grows on you. Like that car, the more you drive it, the more updates you get, the more that you appreciate that car. Like there's no other car like it before. Maybe after will be, but nothing like we've ever owned before. I mean, this thing just keeps getting better and better. And I didn't think that would be the case, right? It's kind of plain, right? And I thought, no, I like the Model S better because the interior has got all the screens, it's got all the fancy stuff, it's got the power. You don't need any of that stuff. This little car is just, it's good. You like it more and more, right? So, it's weird because I should be like a fanboy. I mean, I am, but not really. I wasn't really that excited. I'm like, Teslas, whatever. I'm blown away, you know what I mean? Like, I think differently than probably the average person, right? Like I'll just geek out at like supercharging, for example, right? Like I'll pull up there for 10 minutes on my way to somewhere, EV West or something. I did that a couple times, and it's like, we're gonna have to stop here. Pull up, we plug it in, and then you see it and you're like, look, that's just a number for most people. It's charging at 80 kilowatts, 100 kilowatt. Like that's just a number, right? Like what is it? I don't know, it's 100. But to me, I know, how hard and how much energy that is, and how amazing that is that in 10, 20 minutes, you can put 100 miles back into the car, and then you're on your way, and you're like, that is insane, that's a crazy. And then to think that there's a one in Vegas that's got 200 kilowatt charging speeds and stuff, right? So I sort of geek out probably more than most because I understand the technology, right? From a different aspect, I think, from doing the DIY, right? Like I'm, excited because I can charge a 10 kilowatt on my bus, yet my Tesla can do 100 kilowatt. Yeah, it's crazy. You should get one. I mean, it's a pretty crazy car. I like it. If you do use my code, it's somewhere around. I don't know. It's one of my videos. I gotta start using that thing more. I don't have enough referrals on that guy. I haven't even made videos about the Tesla. It's such a weird thing, You would think I would be like, hey, let's pump this thing up. Like, let's just... But not really. I don't know why. I do want to. There's just so many videos I want to make, and I'm not making a lot of them right now. I'm just trying to... I'll get back to it. It's just... Right now I'm working on other stuff. I distribute energy in plus to plus connection and transferring amps to volt to always have volts. Whoa. Preacher Jehu. That's a ring to it. Come on. Did you ever make a solar generator expansion pack? I did. But I really didn't call it that. I guess I have to make a video where I showed you how to use it together. Right? I kind of used it for something else, and I built it. That build took a while, so I'm like, after I was done with it, I'm like, okay, I need a break from building these stupid things because there's a lot of planning, and there's a lot of parts that I had to buy and try, and I was like, these don't work, and then finally build it, and I'm like, okay, I'm done building these things. But I actually just got another. Case. I discovered that the monoprice cases and the Amazon basic cases are essentially the same ones. They're, in some instances, they're cheaper as monoprice, and in some instances, they're cheaper as Amazon basic. So anyways, I got one because I got the new version, right? So I built the little one. I haven't released the video for that one yet. It's not done. But, I'm already thinking about the bigger one. And... I'm gonna buy another. Instead of changing the one that I have there, I'm gonna remake another one. And then That one, I want to give it away. Again, because I want to get into this habit of trying to incentivize people to watch the videos quickly and liking and comment the thing. So now, even the builds that I'm doing, I want to try and give most of those away so that, you know, the videos can get more views or whatever. I don't know if it's going to work. Whatever. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work, right? How would I know until I try it? I have a 1979 Datsun 510. What do you recommend as far as conversion motor? AC50. That works. That's a little light car, so do it. Carl says, I've had my bus in camo paint for 5 years. Never worry about scratches. But everyone always asks, when are you going to paint it? Yes. Now imagine, Carl, if you were me and you get asked that like thousands of times, you're like, all right, I gotta paint it. I got it. Yeah, it gets old. But I also wanted to paint it. My whole thing from the very beginning was to paint it. I wanted to have a car that was, you know, shiny, so people would like, you know, they didn't say like, well, it's nice, it's electric, you did it, but, well, it's not like a real car because it's, you know, on primer, right? People think like that, and it's weird. You can try to change them. I just don't think it's worth fighting that fight anymore, right? So I'm like, I'm just gonna paint it, and then people will just see a pretty car, and it's electric, and then, you know, it'll be on SEMA, and then next thing you know, it'll be like on Road and Track, and who knows, you know what I mean? Like, it'll make the rounds. All the VW magazines told me like, oh, as soon as you paint it, let us know. We'll do a whole spread on this guy, you know? And so I'm like, okay, well, one day I'm gonna paint it. They just don't realize it's a lot of money and a lot of time. Samsung SDI. Phil, thank you for the dollar. Appreciate it. Massachusetts uses a vacuum from the gas engine to work. I'm not sure how that would work on an electric car. Yeah, they have vacuum pumps. They have electric vacuum pumps. On my car, it doesn't have. It does not boost it. It's just a, you know, totally manual master cylinder. So there's nothing there. There's no boost. I know lots of people who bought a Model 3 and wish they had a Model S. I don't know anybody who bought a Model S and wish they had a Model 3. Actually, I know someone that traded in their Model S for a Model 3, and they're super happy about it. Yeah, I mean, I never owned a Model S, so I wouldn't know, right? But I know the Model 3 is growing on me. All right, I'm gonna take a quick break. Krista's about to come in right now, and then the dogs are gonna go crazy, and then I'll come back, okay? Just a minute. Do I have... I'm here at the EV show, San Marcos, California, and here's Crystal charging her Tesla in the solar trailer. So this is a smart one. It follows the sun, it tracks the sun. It's got Tesla batteries in there. Let's see, it's charging. What's it putting in? Oh my God, it's charging at 32 amp, 243 volts. Wait, what? Okay. Yes. Wow, this thing is actually charging.
Oh yeah.
No way. That's cool. Okay. Oh, look at that. It just adjusted to follow the sun. The sun's there. Now the panels are facing it. Empty. What's going on here? So you want to build a DIY Powerwall. I'll show you how to do one. Using these as batteries and these as your inverter, you can build a small DIY Powerwall. Let's get going.
Let's see if the improvements that we made to it are gonna make it go fast. Let's see if it'll burn rubber. Hold on.
Look at this! Crystal brought me a nice coffee. As it turns out, she's talking on the phone on the car, so she's not going to come in for a little while. So we can carry on with our conversation here. Let's see. What are we talking about here? By the way, I sent you the link for the 3D printer case on Messenger and the link of the YouTube video I saw about it. Oh, I think I did get it. On Facebook, right? There we go. So a little less? Yes. There we go. I got it. I will share that. Oh, can I share that right now? I could share that right now, I think. Let's see here. Facebook. Here we go. No. Requests. New message, recent message requests. Oh, message requests. There we go. Here is the video. There we go. Look at that. So that's the thing. That's the video for the thing. We gotta make that. Someone did that. I guess I gotta watch that and then I can comment on it or whatever and see how, if it's the thing that I want. How's your power shaving unit doing? I don't know. It stopped working at one point and then I turned it off and I'm like, I'm gonna look into it. And then I haven't looked into it. So I don't know what the deal is with it. But I have some other types of batteries that I want to put in there, and I have another box of that I built for that project. Because the problem was that that battery was too small, and so it didn't last enough, right? So it was like working really hard for like, you know, a couple hours or something, and then it would like ran out of battery. So I'm like, okay, I need to fix it. I need to do the thing. And then slowly I was like, I'm gonna work on that project, and then this other thing. But I haven't revisited. So right now it's offline, and I don't know why. I don't remember what happened. I think maybe the charger. I think the charger stopped coming online. Remember that thing where if you didn't disconnect. Oh yeah, if you didn't disconnect the DC side, it wouldn't wake up. If you just if you connect the DC side to the battery, and then you connect the AC side, then it would turn on, but it won't start charging. You'd have to disconnect the DC and then connect it back on, and then it would kick in. So, you know, I think that was the problem, and I think for a while it was working fine. I thought, oh, okay, there's no big deal. But I think one of those times it just didn't kick on, and then the batteries are like, you know, low, and then they were lower, and then the next day I'm like, oh, they didn't charge. And the next thing I know, like it reached the bottom cutoff at the end, and it just the system turned off or whatever. So then I just hadn't had time to go and mess with it and look at it. So I will have a report on that one as soon as I get to it and stuff to see what happened to it. People will always find a way to knock your achievements because they haven't done it themselves. Yeah, that's true. What if when you activate the car with high voltage on the frame? Wait, what? Whoa. What if the electrostatic field blended all the forces of the car to behave more self-sustaining ways? Yeah, I mean, I guess. What happened to the Danfoss inverters? Did you ever test yours out? No, I never got to that project. But I have been I was talking with someone for a little while that was telling me how they were using theirs. And what did they tell me? They had like, I don't remember what kind of car, but it's an electric car. And they needed power. And so they took their electric car and they would just plug in straight into the terminal, so the battery, right? So like 400 volt battery. And then they plugged in their Danfoss inverter, and that's how they were getting power. So they were essentially using their electric car as a, power wall. It's a temporary power wall. I think it was a Leaf, a Nissan Leaf. That's what I remember, because he was saying it's low. The batteries are going low or something like that. I need to replace them with like better ones or so. So I'm like, that was the thing that I was gonna do, and I never did it. This guy, it's actually doing it, and he's running his batteries down from doing it so much. Yeah, that'll be fine. I'll go into the bus in there. That was Crystal, everyone, by the way.
What up?
The long range high speed Model 3 performance, it's much better than the Model X. Ooh, I would know. I have the entry level one. And that's fancy enough for me, and that's fast enough for me. You should see Crystal. She drives like a maniac. She's like whiplash everywhere. I'm like, dude, come on. I'm old over here. I would kill to have that many batteries laying around. I never leave my house. It's an interesting problem to have, okay? You think you want stuff, right? Until then you're like, oh, guess what? I found this niche. I found this thing that allows me to buy things that I need, because that's my job, to get things, like in this case, batteries and inverters. But the problem is that it's so easy for you to order stuff, and then you're like, oh, now I gotta figure that thing out, like that 8,000, radiant inverter. I'm like, that's a dream. It's a godsend, right? I mean, that's like the top of the line. That's like a $4,000 inverter. It's like smart. It does all these things. You can use it. You can prioritize it to the battery. You can prioritize it like off grid, so that after the battery, then you can also connect on a generator. You can tell it to charge. It's all. I mean, it's endless, right? It's a really cool inverter. I bought it like a month ago, 2 months ago. I don't know. I haven't even had a chance to look at it, right? So much that I'm like, oh, I got these batteries that I can test. Do I have a big inverter so I can like test the thing? Oh yeah, I have one here, 48 volts, right? Oh, I haven't even ordered that stupid little unit to control it, right? And so that's the reason why I won't be able to probably have it in this next video. And that's just the one. Like, you times that a bunch of times, like other stuff. I have the Tesla modules right there. Those things are amazing. The energy density is great. They're put together. I could be making so much videos. I have so many ideas on how to use these as 24 or 48 volt battery packs, right? Because you can't really use them. They're kind of too low voltage. But there's ways, and I want to try these couple of ways of doing them. I just haven't had time. I'm like, every time you're like, I have all my projects laid out, and I'm like, I'm gonna go here, and then like a new one comes in, and it's like, oh, okay, I gotta move all those because this is more important. And then you get through that one, and then you're like, okay, I gotta get back to my projects, and then like something else comes in. I'm like, okay, gotta. So then all this project kept pushing away. And I've talked about this before, right? It's a weird thing. I haven't mastered the art of being organized and keep pushing it, right? So I'm starting all these projects, and I'm not finishing all of them. I have so many pending projects now that I have to prioritize every time, right? So yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna get good at that. I'm hoping I will. I don't know when I will feel comfortable getting some help so that I can just have a team working on there. Yeah, it's all things to figure out. But at the same time, I've learned to not freak out too much, right? Because I could be like stressing myself out to the end of the world, saying like I gotta get all these projects done, I gotta get. And I'm like, the day that I'm stressing out about all these projects, that's the day I'm not having fun, and that's the day that I will not want to do this anymore, right? So I'm like, I'm not gonna stress about it. I'm just gonna keep doing. And it just doesn't, it would be infuriating for some of you guys watching this, right? Because you're like, I'm following that one project, and then you took a break. You did another 3 projects in between, and then you got to it a little bit, and you still didn't get it done. Yeah, so I get it, and I apologize for that, but I'm going at my own pace. I'm doing the best I can with what I got. I'm struggling with the 1 year and $8,000 to paint my bus also. So camo is for a few more years. Wow, you found someone to do it for $8,000. Huh? Last guy I talked to, it was like 15, and the new guy that I was talking to was like, I have a feeling that he's thinking more like 20 to paint my bus. So I'm like, geez, that's a lot of money. You know what? I'd pay it if he tells me it'll be done in 6 weeks. I'd be like, I'll drop it off tomorrow. But he's not telling me that. He's saying, pick it up next year. So I'm like, I don't know. I think I want to do it myself. I think I'm gonna do it myself. I would, okay, so you said the thing, 250 18650s need a home, like your plug-in boxes, please. There you go. By the way, guys, I do have some help now. Not with the projects that I'm doing, but like the PCBs and stuff, right? Like all that stuff being handled with some. If you bought anything from me recently, you know that you have to deal with Carla. You have to deal with actually, Carla's the only one, but there's other people behind that are like processing orders, all that other stuff, right? I realized that those batteries, these batteries actually. These are the ones that are gonna put on my bus, right? These are the 18650s, NCR 18650 DBs, but they're the naked ones because they came like this from the factory because they were gonna go on those Alta off-road bikes, right? So they're like this. I realized, and I've talked to a lot of people that they're like, yeah, these are a great price, but I don't wanna wrap them. It's like a huge deal for people to wrap these, and I'm like, are you kidding me? Really? They're so easy to wrap. They're like, yeah, no. So I'm like, okay. So I've actually started wrapping these. I found the right wrappers. It took me a little while because they weren't available for some reason. The Sony green ones were available for a long time, and I just ordered like 10,000 of them, and then I finally found those, the gray NCR 18650 DBs or BDs, and I ordered 10,000 of those. So I'm gonna start wrapping those and offering those on my website sometime in the future. And also I'm gonna break that apart, the Sony ones, because those Sony, most people only need them for like little projects, right? Those are great for e-bikes and skateboards and stuff. And I have designed another PCB that hopefully Justin Kenny is working on that one right now. It's a simple PCB that is going to allow you to make like these flexible battery packs for like skateboards and stuff, right? So when I offer that, then I'm also going to offer, like small packages, like 20 cells or 30 cells, 40 cells, something like that. So that's also coming. I know that you guys were talking about 8650s right there. Is there any process for fast charging of 2,000 to 3,000? What, AM fast or short time? I wonder what that means. Charging? Which kinds? Taycan, Roadster 2, Rivian F1, marry one, kill one. Size Power Tool says Taycan, Roadster 2, and Rivian F1. So marry one and kill one. I mean, out of all those, I'd do the Rivian F1. Kill the other two. No, kill the Taycan. Marry the Rivian, and then the Roadster. You know, you can keep it as a backup or something. By the way, I have the Rivian on order. I don't know if I'm going to be able to afford it, but I have it on order. If whenever it comes out, you know, I might collect all my pennies and give them to Rivian so that I can make videos about that. That's a thing that I will try to jump in and get it as early as possible so I can do videos about that one, because that's a cool thing. There hasn't really been another truck, and there hasn't been as much hype. I mean, other than Teslas, there hasn't been that much hype on another vehicle as that one. There we go. Do we need to balance 18650 packs after use for a long time? Yes. Yeah, you should. I mean, every once in a while, right? Every once in a while, if you're like using brand new cells and they're very closely matched, then you don't have to do it as often. But I would still recommend, you know, like I'm running around with a pack that it's on, that it's not actively balanced. It's doesn't have a BMS or anything, and I'm charging it. I've checked it from time to time. I haven't checked it for a while. I think I should check it soon. In fact, maybe I'll do a video about it so I can show you guys how I check it and see how crazy close those batteries are. I mean, maybe not. Maybe I'll be surprised and be like, oh, these are a little bit off now, right? Because that's what happens when they start aging, the cells. And you got to think about it. My cells are 10 years old already. They're 2008 cells, right? That were on a 2009 vehicle is 2019 10-year-old cells. They were made by Tesla, first generation. I want to say 2009. Is that before the Roadster or around the Roadster? It's around the Roadster era, first generation Roadster, or might predate the Roadster. So if you have that, you know, that scenario, you can get away with it, right? But I mean, I wouldn't recommend it, right? Because unless you can check every once in a while, you know, unless you have this weird thing where you have this perfectly matched, you know, and assembled pack, then you don't need to worry so much about it. But as the battery age, then I would say you would need to. Like, for example, if I'm going to install this battery pack on another vehicle, then I would consider now installing a BMS on that pack. Where in the past 6 years that I've owned that pack, I didn't feel the need to put a BMS on it. Moving forward, I would say I would need one, because now the cells are, you know, they're aging, and so that's where they might start drifting apart, right? And so yeah, hopefully I'll do a video about that. 10-year-old cells, right? It's a great should be a great check to see what 10 years calendar lifetime does on cells, on early Tesla cells. And then also usage, because I mean, I don't know how many miles I put in my bus, but it's got some cycles in there. So yeah, should be interesting to see that. Ruben Salazar is in the house. He's another member of the channel. That's why he's got the little battery icon there. What is Tesla going to do with the Maxwell capacitor company they bought? To give a super boost of amps a takeoff? Well, your guess is as good as any, I think. I mean, there's a lot of speculation on that front, but I don't know. They don't need super caps. Right. Well, a lot of people are speculating that they absolutely are not interested in supercap technology. They're interested in the dry cell manufacturing process or something. And, that probably makes more sense because the way I understand of supercaps and how they work, like I said, we don't have a need for them. Not on automotive right now and not in storage. They could also maybe, the only thing that I could see is maybe charging, right? So it could be a thing where maybe they put a huge bank of supercapacitors that can very quickly be discharged and charged into a battery pack, and then it could like slowly charge, back up, and then when the next car shows up, it plugs in, then it just discharges all that energy very quickly. Maybe, but I don't know if you even need supercaps for that, right? Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's all we can do at this point is just speculate. It's taking so long to build my DIY gen because shipping anything to South Africa takes forever. I could attest to that. I get quite a bit of comebacks when it comes to like people that order stuff from South Africa, and they're like, "Hey, it's been weeks since I ordered my stuff. Where is it at?" And then we're like, "I don't know. Did you get because everybody gets a tracking number, right?" So then we check the tracking number. It's like, "Yep, it's still on the way. It's stuck in South Africa," So yeah, I definitely hear you about that, and we experience the same. Everybody that orders from us from South Africa has to wait quite a while. Whoa, whoa, whoa. We all remember you're helping Puerto Rico with power walls. You're right, Jehu. Oh, thank you, Brent. Hopefully we'll get to do the same with the Bahamas. Oh my God, yeah, I didn't talk to him today, but it's still happening where, the U.S. Air Force is going to use my PCBs to build their things. We just send them a big shipment of pre-assembled boards. And they are going to put them together, and they're going to send them for testing so that they can be pre-approved, and then they can be tested and stuff. And if that happens, it's so crazy. We might see some packs using my boards to be used for disaster relief, power stuff, I know it's taking a while, but it's kind of out of my hands right now. I'm just trying to do the best I can to make these things available to them, and they're kind of designing these things right now as we're talking, as we're going along. I've got wrappers and I'll pay shipping, says Mike JF. I am one of the best electric boarders in my town, says Stefan. Really? I don't have small projects. I need like 17,000 cells. Yes. Justin Kenny, it's in the house. Hey, Jehu, I'm listening. Just email you a question to confirm about the skateboard packs. Busy with the day job too lately, but I'll get it done. Thank you, Justin. Much appreciated. We got to move some of those batteries. I got a skateboard that's halfway done. That thing's changed the type of batteries that I'm going to use. For a while, I'm like, I'm going to use 2170s because that's the batteries that, because that's what's going to get the views, right? And then I'm like, I don't care about it, 2170s right now. And then I'm like, oh no, we're going to do it with Tesla batteries because then we can move Tesla modules, or I don't care about that. And then the Sonys right now. So I think that has a better thing because there's a lot of people that there's people are building a battery one way, and if I can make a PCB, a lot of people are asking me about a PCB for a skateboard, and I'm like, no, that doesn't work. It's probably wouldn't work. And then I was thinking like, well, wouldn't it work? Let's see, let's see if I can come up with something. And, just, it took, I sat here a couple hours one night just scribbling and figuring out, like, if it would work. I think it would work. I think we can push, like, 30 amps, 40 amps to these little boards, in which it's enough to push, 200-pound man down the road at decent speeds. Let's see. I found some active balance PCB for my LifePort 4 headway pack. They use a balanced current of 1.5 between cells. I got one of those too. See, it's so easy to order it. Now I just got to make the project right, test it. Here it is. I actually have two of them. I have this really old one. The only problem was that this one had absolutely no instructions whatsoever. Right? Like no wiring diagram. It looks kind of cheap. But this one has 10-watt resistors here. So these probably can burn quite a bit. The only thing is that it's kind of scary because 10 watts? Imagine if like half of these are on. Woo! Yeah, it could be scary. All that heat being created there. Anyways, yeah, I'm going to probably do that. I'm going to test all of these guys because I have several of them. I have the little ones. I have that big one. And I have another big one. Then I have the ones that balance the thing. Right? I saw a couple of videos that someone did. But I'm like, I don't care. I got to do my own. And then I have this one. This one seems like it's a little bit better. And this one could do all the way to, what, 16 cells? 17 cells? Oh, 24 cells. This one will do in between the 3 to 24 cells, right? And it's literally just a balancer. And so I got to make a video and compare these and test them. See which one is the winner. Which one is the winner so that we can do that. In fact, I was thinking that I was going to have to do that with these cells, those Samsung packs, because those, even though they're being testing, they're sniffing the CAN bus because they operate on CAN bus. They're also might be too expensive to get the equipment to get it to use. Someone said that equipment was faulty and they would recall their stuff, so might not even be available. Right? It's while we figure that out, or even for those of us that might not want to use their system, then one of those systems could work with a pack like that. You put like 4 or 5 of those things in there. They have all the, they have all the little cables and connectors to get the balance leads of every cell. So then it could just be like a standalone, system like that, right? So I think I'm gonna test those on those so that I can give you just like, I can recommend it if you don't want to wait and use the thing and use a controller to shoot, canned messages and stuff, right? Because that seems complex to a lot of people, including myself. Yeah, and so, I'm sure, because there's quite a bit of them, so I'm sure they will figure it out to some degree and maybe even put like an Arduino and have the code, or find the legit, controllers that go with that, so that we can do like a whole system, right? I don't know. I'm kind of excited to see where that would go. I'm working on electric longboard. I bought these 200 amp continuous pouch cells. I don't know if it's a good idea or bad. One, I sent you a picture on Facebook if you want to see it. Oh, okay. There you go. Supercaps to launch the Tesla so that the batteries don't suffer. That could be, but yeah, maybe. Yeah, you think about it. I think at launch, let's do the math, see. At launch, the Model S does 1500 amps times, well, we know, right? Times, what is it? The nominal, let's say 350 volts. Woo! No, it's a little bit less than that. It's like 400 kilowatt, right? 440 or something. Yeah, that's quite a bit. I mean, at launch, that means the cells, if you have a P100D, right, then you're seeing a 5C or 4.5C load on your cells. It's not that bad. It's not that bad. You're seeing that for a few seconds. So I mean, yeah, you could use supercaps, I guess, but I don't think you need them. I definitely don't think you need them. Right? I mean, because you don't need more than 430 kilowatt. I mean, at this point now, the limitation is traction, right? So, I mean, unless you put some giant sleek tires or something, slicks, then you could use way more than that, right? But I don't think so, right? I mean, these cars are not, I mean, maybe the Roadster, maybe for the Roadster you would need it, because then it's a much smaller, bigger wheels. The performance needs to be higher on that one. Yeah, maybe on the Roadster. You probably use a little small, pack. There we go. Yes, we're making a skateboard pack. We're designing it right now. Let's see, what are the things here? Yeah. What happened? You're not live no more. Am I not live? Are you kidding me? I mean, according to this thing says I'm live. Let's see. Let me look on my phone here. That's the way to say, hey, where are you guys fighting, man? Come on. According to this, I'm live. Let's see here. Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. Maybe it was a little bit. I prefer gold tube cells. 100 volts of tube cell light, up 12 volt light. I'm not familiar with those. Wasn't there a report about Tesla showing very low battery degradation after years of use recently? Yeah, all the data that we have is that those batteries are going to be with us for a long time, especially when they're in cars. Yeah, I mean, because they're actively cooled, and those batteries. I mean, we even proved that if you go easy on batteries, even the cheap Chinese cells. By the way, Justin did a great work. He built a cycler, and we did those Chinese cells, right? They were what do we call revolt cells, right? And he cycled one, right? And he cycled it hard, and I think it lasted 340 cycles or something like that, 350 cycles, and then it just like completely died, right? But that was full depth of discharge cycles at full load, like 1C or more than 1C, I don't remember, right? It was like full, the rating. And then we decided to knock everything down to say like, okay, what would it be on a Powerwall? Well, it was probably going to be like, half a C, and we're only going to be using like 80% or something like that, right? Depth of discharge. And then we cycled it, and I mean, so I remember it reached like 1,000 cycles, right? So obviously, like even cheap Chinese cells will last, 4 times more than the rating. And Tesla's obviously using good cells from Panasonic, and they supposedly have, which I wouldn't. There's no reason not to doubt that they now at this point have some special sauce, some special, chemistry that they're doing, that they're developing. So yeah, so those batteries are gonna be forever. I mean, look at mine. They're 10 years old and they're still running around on my bus. It would be interesting to check capacity at this point on mine. 10-year-old cells that are cycled and have 10 years of life, right? Yeah, maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll do a special video update on my 10-year-old Tesla battery pack. that should be cool, because it'll be firsthand, right? It won't be like these graphs. That's the thing about all these people, these YouTubers. They're talking about these batteries and the million, and it's all like a lot of speculation, or is based on someone else's research, and they can never really, you can never really check it. It's just, what you read, and you either have to believe it or not, right? And so, it's as exciting as it is, and as cool as it is to know the stuff like that, I always like to just get my hands dirty and go in there and test it. Test a cell, grab a cell. What is the true capacity of a Model 3 battery, right? Full range. How do you know? You just grab a couple of cells, you test them, and then you extrapolate that, by the number of cells, and then, it comes up. You come up with a number. These literally had like less than 100 miles. I think the guy said like 80 miles or something. That's what this car had when it crashed. And then he bought the pack, and he took it apart, and then I got the cells, and then I measured them, and then I made, did I make a thing? If I didn't make a video, I should have made a video. 4753 milliamp hours. 4753. That's what I got off of a Model 3 Tesla battery pack. Right? So that's what I like doing. I like to go in there and just like test it myself. 1.5 amp, about half a C, same rate for both tests. Oh, really? I thought you were going a little bit more conservative on the second one. Really? So it was just the depth of discharge. Just second test was 3 to 4.1 instead of 2.75 to 4.2. Oh, wow. Okay. So that's not even that crazy. Yeah, so look, I mean, if you were to compare that, that's what Tesla uses their cells at. They never go past, below 3.0, and I don't think they go past 4.1 at the top, right? And you only do 4.1 at the top when you want the extra, the long range thing, when you tell, like, yes, give me the entire battery so that I can take a trip. So this is the worst case. So our testing that we did, where we got 1,000 cycles on our little cheap Chinese cells, it's the worst case on Tesla's cars, right? So they're, most of the time they're using it more conservatively, smaller depth of discharge cycles, and they're always using less than half a C. You got to think about this. They have like a 78 kilowatt hour or 85 kilowatt hour battery. Well, no, because that's half a C, so no, that would be, no, so they're usually using it more than that, right? But they're also cooling it, which we weren't cooling those, right, Justin? So what was the temperature on those? Just ambient temperature? Well, I'm sure so half a C, they shouldn't be getting too hot. So maybe temperature, it was not as relevant on this one test or whatever. But I was very, very surprised that those batteries got so far. I'm like, that's crazy. The little Chinese. And that's a no-name, like, some little shop in China that is just manufacturing cells. And, we got them, we tested them, we put them through a bunch of tests. I did capacity tests, I did temperature, power output tests, and then cycling tests, right? And they performed very well. So I'm sure Tesla's batteries are going to be with us for a long time. 16S, area $30. I just ran a cycle test on a Model 3 cell too. Oh, there we go. Compared to a Tesla Model S, just to look at the chemistry. Interesting that they look a lot different on the voltage curve. Really? Tesla Model 3 cells look like a Samsung 40T cell for chemistry, but has higher capacity. And also, by the way, the Model S cells are we always thought that they were 3.4 amp hour cells, right? But have we actually gotten 3.4 amp hour? I did some tests on some of them. I don't know. Where are those batteries? They would always come back like less than that for me, like maybe like 3,200 milliamp hours. What is, if you remember at the top of your head there on the Model S cells, the 18650s, what did they come out? Samsung SDI ESS testing. Yeah, I'm testing some of those modules to see what the capacity is of the ones, of a very, very large batch of them that are going to become available tomorrow. Tomorrow, I'm going to upload a video, and then they're going to become available and start shipping them. Just in case, cells were tested at ambient, so just in an office building, so room temperature outside. But the board got a little warm for testing, from testing. Okay, so nothing crazy though, right? I mean, we weren't pushing crazy amounts of power through them, so. How is your AC doing so far with your setup? It was doing okay for a while, but then it stopped. And I think it was the battery charger that didn't kick back on, and I haven't had time to go check it. So yeah, I gotta go and check it, and then I'll give you guys an update on that. Why don't you use lipos? So we kind of do, but they're not really lipos, but they're lipo-like. This is one of the most popular batteries that we have, like at battery hookup. Like, these guys are seriously shipping a crap load of these guys, and partly is because the price is very low. I mean, it's a very good price, I think, right? It's like he had them for like $4 each, and they're 8 amp hours. So they're pouches, just like lipos, and you can make packs. You can make 7S packs or 14S packs. I've done like that thing right there, which is a solar generator thing, you know, just a big power pack. I did them with these. I never built a big, you know, like Powerwall type of setup storage, but I should, because they're a great value for these, right? And I think that's why people use them. So they're just essentially lipos. They're 200 amp cells, so they have the power output almost like a lipo. I think these are going to become much easier to use moving forward, because Tom is able to get the packaging that these come from the factory, right? So we won't have to do these thing where we have to like figure out how to drill holes and put rivets or solder the thing in there or use screws and all that stuff, right? They have like the actual packaging that these come in, and so we're going to be able to start using them. I think he said starting next year, so in the next couple of months, then they become super easy to use, and there's plenty of them. Last time he told me he had like 80 pallets of these things or some crazy thing. So yeah, lipos. If you want to use lipos, check those out. These are cool. I heard the first generation was like an ANCR 18650B, 3.4 amp hours. Yeah, me too. So those are what's always came out. The one I tested was around 3 amp hours. Yeah, so that's always what I'm getting, right? I'm like, oh yeah, these are 3.4, and then I test them. I don't think I've ever seen anything higher than like 3.1 or 3.2 amp hours out of any of those cells, right? Which I'm like, what? I don't know. These are 18650Bs, right? I have pushed Model 3 cell amp to failure. It failed in a controlled manner, which was surprising. I pushed a Model 3 cell? Huh. How did you do that? What are you talking about, Rocket? I was wondering the same thing. LiFePro 4 is so much better cycle times, safer. Yeah, but it's much more scarce, more expensive too, right? So yeah, you could totally get some LiFePo 4. And I've been talking to a bunch of these like Chinese manufacturers, and it's just the problem is they don't have a way to get them in the United States, right? And they always want me to like, well, you can distribute, and I'm like, I got no interest in distributing batteries for you guys. Like, they're a pain to ship and store and warehouse, and I'm like, no, you gotta set. I mean, I'm good at marketing. I'm good at coming up with like little projects so that people can use them and showing people how to test them, all the stuff. I'm interested in doing that. Like, if I can promote, if you got a good product, if you got a good sell, and that's the case with these ones, right? I made a video about these. Oh my god. These are actually pretty cool lithium iron phosphate batteries. They're pretty compact. They are, I mean, they're almost like, you know, lithium cobalt oxide energy density. They're kind of weak. They're like 1C max, I think. But they really want you to like take more like 0.75 C's or something, you know what I mean? But this is a 1.2 kilowatt hours right here. And they're light and they're small. Problem is, they're expensive, right? This is like $560 worth of batteries here or something like that. Yeah, so right, if you do the per kilowatt hour, I think it comes out to like like almost $500, like 480, 470, I think, kilowatt hour, something like that, per kilowatt hour. So it's expensive, and then you still have to pay for shipping, all that nonsense, right? And they don't really have a distribution in the United States, right? So these are cool batteries. They're cool for storage, definitely. I don't remember at the top of my head what cycle life is on these, but I think it's like 8,000. I think last time I talked to the guy, he said, I was thinking it was like 2,000, right? Because that was usually what they are. But then he's like, oh no, these are 8,000 cycles rated. And I'm like, what? Okay. So yeah, these are definitely very, very attractive. Yeah, it's kind of hard to take them seriously, right? I'm like, okay, send me some so that I can make a project. So I can make like a big box. And then they were like, oh, can you just use the ones we sent you? And I'm like, you sent me 4 cells. Like, I can't use that. Like, so it's hard to take them seriously, right? Like, you're like, you don't even want to send me some cells so that okay. And I'm like, what am I doing? I'm wasting my time here, you know? I use those in my power wall. I like the 600 with shipping, 200 power line on that proposed on AliExpress. Have you tested those, Steven? Do you have a video on how to test batteries? Yes, I have some from like October of last year. I was testing a lot of batteries then, and I was explaining my setup, and I was explaining like how I was doing the tests and stuff like that. Yeah, go look for those. Yeah, that's when we were testing all kinds of Chinese batteries and stuff. And you leave them fully charged, they will puff up. David Miller, yes, so he's talking about the LiPos for RCs. They don't like to be left fully charged. Yeah, those are like a different kind of cell, right? Those don't last very long because they kind of, I mean, I don't know. They're kind of made to be abused, right? Those are like usually like 20C, 30C, 40C, 50C power ratings off of them, right? So they usually don't last more than like, I don't know, 100, 200 cycles and stuff because they're basically, you're abusing them. I never done a test where I use one. I have some, I probably should do it. Use one of those cells on like a normal, 1C discharge or something, and then like, yeah, not a full depth discharge. I think they would probably do okay, but maybe not. That chemistry is kind of like, it's made to push a ton of power. And I don't know if it would last if you baby them, This Bernie by Alex. Berna by Alex says distributing and warehousing batteries is a bad business model as the price keeps going down, so any inventory value keeps dropping. Yes, I agree with you. And rent is not cheap, and labor is not cheap. So I have no interest in getting into that shipping batteries. It's a ton of problem. I mean, I'll do little boxes of 20 and stuff, right? Because we have a little bit of inventory there, you know. I mean, and by little, we have like, you know, probably like 100,000 cells still available that we want to sell and stuff. Been using, says Connor Umbach, has been using LifePo 4 in DIY cars since the forklift Geo. They aren't hard to come by or expensive. 3.2 volt. 200 amp hours is $199. Yeah, I guess, I mean, it's just from my side, it seems like they're hard to come by because they're not widely available. I mean, we're getting truckloads of these other cells, right? These guys, right? Truckloads of these 18650s on the modem packs. There's truckloads and truckloads. These ESS now that they're coming in, the electric car batteries. I see, as far as I can see into the future, I see tons of those batteries coming. Lithium iron phosphate, we get like one shipment here, one little shipment there, and then they're gone, and that's it. You know, they're hard to recycle. It takes a lot of like money to recycle them. So yeah, from what I remember using them in the cars, they were like very low quality. Out of 100 cells that we would get, like, you know, 3 or 4 were like way like 20 amp hours out of spec, you know. And so we would have to like test them, take them, and then you would have to get like 5-10% extra battery just so that you can like take out the bad ones and, you know, keep them there. So yeah, from what I remember, lithium iron phosphate wasn't the greatest on the automotive side, right? And I don't see them as available as all these other lithium cobalt oxide flavors of batteries, right? So yeah, it's just, you know, I'm sure you can find them in a place and buy them. You know, there's still Cal batteries. They still have their distribution center here, the U.S. distribution center, not far from me. I think it's like in Chino or somewhere out here. Like it's not hard to go get them and stuff. But I think they're probably doing less and less business these days, unless they're shifting to storage or something. I mean, that's where I think it makes sense, most sense, having a big power wall, you know, with lithium iron phosphate. I've been testing them only a month. The only thing the meter was the solid coupled bus bars, which I cut, and I'm using 212 volt in parallel. Runs my entire office for a day. What do you think Tesla will do with the Maxwell technology? No idea. I mean, yeah, we're talking about that. Like, it's hard to tell. You will see thousands or builds with life builds. There are hoverboard batteries. Can you revive your power wall with hover batteries? Is the supply limited? Yeah, those are, the supply is limited for now, but I know there's like a couple hundred of them available, and I got this box full of them because I wanted to make a project with those. But yeah, there's definitely, check on my battery sources, and I have some up there from a local guy that it has, I think a couple hundred of them available, and he's got them kind of cheap. I think like $20 or something each, or $22, $24, something like that. Yeah. Let's see. Justin says it would probably last a long time. Regarding the pouch lipos, I've never come across a tool pack battery that was super degraded. Lowest was 900. milliamp hours out of the 1300 milliamp hour original. Really? Huh. I've always come across packs that are completely dead because they reverse. Yeah, because they always, like, one of them died and then they ran it. I don't know. Yeah, it's always one cell, but the rest of the cells are good, I guess. Yeah. Those high discharge chemistries can be abused a lot. What's your take on the new carbon battery tech coming out? I don't know. I don't know much about it. I will get excited once I start seeing it on the secondary market. That's where I live, so. Graphite being used on batteries, same thing. So, I mean, it's hard for me to get excited until I see it and stuff. I'm excited about just regular batteries, you know what I mean? Like, oh my God, these things are awesome. Like, batteries are awesome. Like, batteries are awesome. It's just no matter how you look at it, you know, like the modern battery technology, the 18650, the, you know, those ones that I have there, they have so much energy in them. It's like 13 watt hours on a 18650. That's a crazy amount of energy, right? The power density off of like those Sony ones that we have is pretty crazy. Those batteries are scary. Like when you short them out, you see like 50, 60 amps, right? Until like that thing cooks. It's pretty amazing. I get excited about that. Like I'm like, what do we need to new thing? I haven't seen it. What can they do? What is your channel about? I'm interested. At this point, I don't know. It's just me rambling about batteries and stuff that I'm doing, about projects that I can't get done because I don't have enough time. For your desktop battery testing gear, 10 to 30 volt range, maybe 1 to 5 amp or more. Huh. I use all kinds of tools and most of them are not even... I mean, I have a few of these chargers, right? But they're not the best. I really like these grid tie inverters to discharge batteries because I can do it without worrying about some stupid resistor that's like cooking for hours. You know, it's just sending it back to the grid and I'm using it to run my home. You know, it's like using it to charge my car or using it to run my AC unit. You know, it's like, those are like very usable loads that are big. I mean, you know, my AC pulls 5 kilowatt, you know. So yeah, I'm using these guys to charge a lot of batteries these days, right? And I'm burning quite a bit of them because I'm pushing these guys hard. I was pushing one today at 40 amps, right? That's what's rated, 42 amps or whatever. And I put this fan and I put another fan and another fan. I mean, I'm just shoving air into this thing, and it ran for hours and hours and hours, and I didn't cook it, right? And I was like, oh, okay, so I think that's the key. If you can shove enough airflow on that thing, I think, you know, you can keep those components cool enough from melting. I think you can run it. You're great aging today. DC power supply. Okay. Oh, 7:58. I guess we're gonna call it a day here. Look at that. I didn't get that tired. My nose is kind of plugged, but yeah, no. I was able to get this done. Stay tuned for tomorrow. I'm gonna finish that battery testing. I'm gonna have it. All the specs of those batteries. Man, I need more time so I can try to use one of these balancers. Can I do that tonight? No, tonight I gotta do another cycle. I gotta cycle them one more time because I want to have at least a couple of cycles on those cells so that I can make sure that it's just not really cells that they've been there stored for so long that on the first cycle they're just like really low, right? Because that's a common thing that we see. You know, you talk to Tom, you know, he always tells you like, oh yeah, you cycle them 2-3 times and they just, every time they keep coming up because they've been there for a long time. So that's a possibility with these. But if not, yeah, then we're seeing 3 kilowatt hours on average out of these, where they were like almost 4 kilowatt hours. which is about 70%. I was doing the math. On one of them, like 77% or something like that. So, 70 to 75%. I'll average it out, and then hopefully these are representative from, the rest of the batch. There's a ton of them, right? And so I got 3 random ones, and that's as best as I can do. Maybe, maybe I can go and grab one from time to time and take and see making sure. I mean, I don't know. I don't know much about this batch of batteries. I don't know where they're coming from, if it was from the same setup or from several setups, and some are going to be better, some are going to be worse. Probably, right? New member, welcome, DIY Dan. Welcome to the channel. Thank you for joining the channel as a member. By the way, you guys can join the channel, and that helps me. Supports the channel. There's a button that says join, and yeah, I don't know. I think it's like $4.99 a month or something like that. Or either you can set up your own. I have no idea how that works. I haven't joined a channel ever before, but yeah, there's quite a bit of you guys, and you guys make these live things possible. On Monday nights, I try to do them on Monday nights. By the way, if you are in LA, it's just I'm thinking ahead a little bit here. I will be going to the LA Auto Show this year. That's in a few weeks, actually. And I will have tickets available for you guys for free. And then also a discount code. And so stay tuned for that. If you are going if you're local to the Los Angeles area, then if you want to go see the LA Auto Show, I am actually getting some access for the first time. Someone's recognizing me, and they offered me access so that I can go in there with the media and stuff, so that I can go and cover the electric cars, right? They want me to actually cover the electric cars. They're somehow promoting electric. It's so weird. It's a weird thing. But I'm like, hey, guess what? I was doing this 2-3 years ago and no one cared about it. And now I'm actually going to get in there, right? So yeah, stay tuned for that. If you're going, keep an eye out for that. I will make an announcement when the tickets are available. I haven't got the code and stuff. And then you guys can come and check out the electric cars with me to the LA Auto Show. I will be going early, a couple days early, I think. And then, the show starts after I upload the video or whatever. I have to upload the video either the day that the show opens or whatever. So that gives me time to give you guys tickets, and then you guys can go and check it out. So anyways, remember, comment on this video when it uploads, when it appears on the thing, and then you can win one of those stacks of, pre-made boards that are fully populated, but they're like older generation. I think they're like the 2 or 3. I don't remember which version they are, but they're not the latest. But there's absolutely nothing wrong with them other than, I don't want to use them because I don't want to show you guys like older generations, right? I want to show you the new generations. So I want to say thank you for joining me, and thank you for hanging out with me tonight. Stay tuned for the projects. And share your projects, by the way. Join our Facebook group and share your projects there, because that's cool. We want to see cool projects. We want to get inspired by you guys. I Love Scotch says, thank you for $20. The 200 amp lithium-ion SPIM HP 8 amp hour flat pouch cells. Would you think 99S 2P pack of them hold up as an EV pack with a max of 2 to 3 second burst of 750 amps, but have only 100 amps? So 700 amps. So you want to squeeze 750 amps out of 2P for what? 2 to 3 seconds? Yeah. Oh yeah. Watch the video. I made a video where I tested on my short. Oh, wait a minute. I didn't short that one. It was the other one. Okay. You could do it, but of course, these pouch cells. You have to constrict them. You have to compress them. If you don't compress them, they'll just blow up. I actually did the test where I shorted it out, and I want to say that like after 5, 6, like somewhere around 10 seconds, I think, the pouch just like created gases and inflated, and it just popped. So that's the problem with those, which means that you'd have to compress them, right? If you compress them, then yeah, you can squeeze 700 amps out of 2 cells of those cells. You could totally do it for 3 to 5 seconds. I don't know how many times you'll do it, right? Because they'll try to do the thing or whatever, but yeah, no, you could definitely do it. And 99 cells, yeah, you'd get quite a bit, right? What is that? 350 nominal volts or something, 400 fully charged, or yeah. You could totally do a dragster out of those. And it wouldn't cost you a ton of money, right? Because they're super cheap. So do it. And let me know when you're going to test it so I can go and make a video with you. All right, guys. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you for all your support, and thank you for all the questions and hanging out with me. And yeah, wait till tomorrow until I upload that video. And if you're in need of some batteries, maybe tomorrow's batteries are going to appeal for you, and then you can hit that button. All right? Okay. I will see you guys on the next one. Have a very good night.
I'm here at the EV show, San Marcos, California, and here's Crystal charging her Tesla in the solar trailer. So this is a smart one. It follows the sun, it tracks the sun. It's got Tesla batteries in there. Let's see, it's charging. What's it putting in? Oh my God, it's charging at 32 amp, 243 volts. Wait, what? Okay. Yes. Wow, this thing is actually charging.
Oh, yeah.
No way. That's cool. Okay. Oh, look at that. It just adjusted to follow the sun. The sun's there. Now the panels are facing it. Empty. What's going on here? So you want to build a DIY Powerwall. I'll show you how to do one. Using these as batteries and these as your inverter, you can build a small DIY Powerwall. Let's get going. All right, just a little quick update here. This is what I'm doing. I'm charging my bus right now. This is my DIY electric car. There's a plug in here, and I'm charging at 5 kilowatt, because of this cable's kind of thin. So yeah, I wouldn't want to pull more than 40 amps through this cable. So, but here's also what I'm doing, right? This is my son's meter. And right now it's pulling, 5,800 watts. Most of it is that bus, right? So about 800 watts is the rest of the house. This right here is the AC, right? What the hell's going on here with all this? But right now, what I'm tasked to do, it's to actually test these units. These are 3.97, right? So almost 4 kilowatt hour, 48 volt. They're a little bit higher than 48 volt. These are rack ESS units. There's just batteries, rack mountable. I have 3 of them. I've been charging them. I have a little charger for these, so it took me a little while. It took me like 2 days to charge them because I was charging at 5 amps each. I didn't have time to couple of something else. But now what I'm going to do is I'm going to discharge them so I can test capacity on these guys. There's 3 of them. There's a large number of these available that we're going to make available, but I wanted to have at least 3 of them so I can test the capacity on them, right? So I can, have random capacity checks, and then we can say, well, it's from this capacity to that capacity. So that's what I'm going to be doing right now. I don't know. I mean, this is 2,000 watts that I'm going to be shoving right back into the grid. So this should take 2 hours. 2 hours, right? So in less than 10 hours, right? But I'm about to go to sleep, so it's going to take longer than that. Probably by the end of tomorrow, I'll be able to get this done. Let me just show you how this works. I have a plug here that I used to use to charge my bus back in the day. Now I'm going to use it to plug this 240 volt into this inverter, and then this is going to turn this 48 volts into 240 volts or 220 volts or whatever. All right, here we go. Now it's plugged in. 236 volts, right? This is what the grid is seeing. This is how much I'm pulling off the grid. Let's turn this guy on and then see if we are tracking this correctly. There we go. 64. Look at that. It's 900, 2,000 watts, right? And that is coming right off of the grid there. Instead of using 5,800 watts, now I'm using 3,800 watts off of the grid. So it's gonna save me some money. Although, it's off peak time right now, so just my energy is as cheap as it can be right now. So, but I need to get going on these guys. All right, so that is our little meter here. That's counting up. It's gonna be 1 amp hour pretty soon right now. It doesn't matter. I'm discharging the battery, so it should be the other way around. I always forget. This should be facing, well, if it's on the negative, should be facing away from the battery. If it's on the positive, should be facing the battery, I believe. I believe that's how this works, so that this can be the right polarity. But all we have to make sure is that we need to keep track of that, the amp hours, right? And then this, actually, I mean, this is really what I want. We are rated at 3.971 kilowatt hours, so 3,971 watt hours, and we've pulled out 75 watt hours so far right now. So we shall see, and I'm gonna test all 3 of them, and then we'll let you know how good they do. All right, here we are. The inverter has shut off, and the reason is because it's hit the low voltage cutoff of 48. At 48 volts, each of the cells on this pack are around 3 volts, so they're pretty much done. What do we get here? We got 53 amp hours, or 3107, so 3100, 3.1 kilowatt on this first one. Okay, so that's one. Let's mark it, and then let's switch to the next one.